cursed from the earth, well, watch this, the earth which hath opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. Take a look at it. That's the wrong picture. Take a look at it. She is acting out Mystery Babylon the Great. Mystery Babylon the Great is bloodthirsty. Very bloodthirsty. Now, something that, if you remember from the video I did, the King James Code on the number 4, or if you've read the book or anything like that, the number 4, in Genesis chapter 4, there's like a picture of the spiritual realm. There's a picture of the gospel there. What you have is you have Cain, who represents Satan and all his evil works, and you have Abel, whose blood speaks. But Christ's blood speaks things better than that of Abel. And so you have a picture of the Antichrist, and you have a picture of Christ. And the Antichrist hates Christ, hates Abel, hates what he stands for, hates his sacrifice, hates it. So out of jealousy and rage, he murders him. The first murder, that's a prototype of what you see in Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Hates it. So he murders him, and his blood spills. So here's Abel's blood spilling all over the ground. And then God himself said the earth opened her mouth to receive the innocent blood. That's what she's doing there. She's acting out the mysteries. And you start looking for innocent blood. Type that in at the King James Pure Bible search software. If you don't have it, download it. Look at innocent blood. And you'll see that God, boy, I'll tell you what, he's got a judgment for people who take innocent blood, spill innocent blood, like abortion clinics. Talk about bloodthirsty. But Babylon loves to drink blood. Think about the vampire thing that's running around right now with all the books and the movies and the TV shows and love affairs between vampires and teenage girls and all that stuff. It's Mystery Babylon. She drinks blood. And God specifically told his people, don't drink blood. Don't drink blood. This is, I won't get into that. But anyway, so that's a proto-gospel there that you see in Genesis chapter 4, that she opened her mouth to receive thy brother's blood from thy hand. Now I want you to look at, we're going to follow some scriptures here. We're going to look at Matthew chapter 27. I want you to notice now the crucifixion of Christ. The Bible says that Jesus, when he had cried again with a loud voice, yielded up the ghost. And behold, now here's what happened when Christ cried with a loud voice and he gave up the ghost. The veil of the temple was rent in twain from the top to the bottom, and the earth did quake, and what happened? The rocks rent. The earth opened up again. So now in John, here's how you read the Gospels. You read them, you put all these things together because they all give different ideas of what they are, different perspectives, but it's the same Gospel. John 19. When Jesus therefore had received the vinegar, he said, "It is finished," and he bowed his head and gave up the ghost. So at this point now, according to Matthew, the rocks have rent. The earth opened her mouth. The Jews, therefore, because it was the preparation that the body should not remain upon the cross and on the Sabbath day, for that Sabbath day was an high day, besought Pilate that their legs might be broken and that they might be taken away. Then came the soldiers, brake the legs of the first and of the other which was crucified with him. But when they came to Jesus and saw that he was dead, already they brake not his legs. But one of the soldiers with a spear pierced his side, and forthwith came there out what? Blood. And what did the earth do with that blood? Remember, she opened her mouth and drank that blood. You say, I don't see that, Pastor Mike. Revelation chapter 17. And I saw the woman drunken with what? Blood of the saints Just think about that. Here is the woman now becoming drunken with the blood of the saints and of the martyrs of Jesus. Now, here's one thing I want to say about this, and I'm going to go to some emails, and then I'm going to go home and lay down for a while. It's in our nature. It is. Let me just talk about me for a minute. As I was growing up, I grew up here in this church, and there were pastors that gave me good, solid teaching on that you shouldn't listen to rock and roll music. And at an early age, I'm developing a love for music. I'm starting to teach myself how to play the piano and starting to sing a little bit. And I have an ear. I can hear something and sit down after a while and play it. And so I'm sort of listening to a lot of classical music and some gospel music. And I'm not that interested in a lot of rock and roll music. However, there was always some that I really liked. Really liked it. You want to know what it is? I like Southern rock, the '70s rock, not Metallica or anything like that, but groups like the Eagles, Leonard Skinner, things like that. I can get into that, buddy. I can get into it big time. I hate to admit this. The first time I saw Boy George on Dick Clark's Rockin' New Year's Eve, I'm going, she has a pretty voice. I did. I fell for it. I thought Boy George, I turned it on late. I didn't know that it was a boy. I didn't know it was a guy, George O'Dowd. I didn't know who that was. I'm going, well, she's kind of cute, but she has a pretty voice. And it was Karma Chameleon, the song that she was singing. And I liked that song. I liked it. Some of Billy Joel's music, because he plays the piano, things like that. I got it in me. It's there. I don't like it, but it's there. And every now and then one of them songs run through my head, and I'm just going, oh, Mike, that's bad. So I understand. People don't want to give up their music. It invokes feelings or invokes memories or whatever it is. It speaks to us somehow, some way. Remember, the devil loves to talk to us. But you understand, think of this way. Why has the churches turned over to this kind of music? Why? Because that was her goal. To get them stripped of Isaac Watts and other famous good hymn writers and turn it over to the devil's authority over that church. It's as simple as that. And when you look beyond how the music appeals to our flesh and how the words seem to, the repeated words over and over again seem to just kind of take over, when you look beyond that and you see there that the music has a message and it has a goal, and Mystery Babylon is behind the goal, and Mystery Babylon loves to drink the blood of the saints and of the martyrs. Think of the Roman Catholic Inquisition. What was that all about? It was about the harlot being bloodthirsty. And when you think about that, you say, you know what? That makes me mad. I can't listen. As much as I like it, I can't listen to that anymore. It's poison. Now, since Tuesday afternoon, I've made a mental list of every food item that I'm going to miss. But I can't go back. I can't go back to it. I have to give up milkshakes. I'm not even going to start on all the stuff that I'm going to have to give up on. But if I if I keep going back to it, I've already realized, I've already discovered it'll kill me. I appreciate everybody's prayers for me. And whether or not I am diabetes free in 6 months or a year or 5 years or whatever because I did this or I took this or whatever, I'll be honest with you, God brought it into my life for a reason. He did. I have no doubt about that whatsoever. God wants to bring me out of it. He has my permission, trust me, just so I can have another milkshake. But if God never does that, I'm fine with that because it's taught me a lesson. Big one. Mike, the things that you're wanting to go back to, they're going to kill you. They're not good for you. What you are, what you eat, that's who you are. Let's read some emails. Let's see here. Theo wrote in early this morning. Wow. I don't know if he's even still alive or awake. So I don't know if he's going to hear this. Theo, this is for you. He has family members that are following Jim Staley and the Hebrew Roots movement. And here's what he said. Do you have any opinion on this movement? I know you had strong feelings regarding people saying there have been some errors in translations, and I buy that. However, I will appreciate any additional information you can mail me in order to counter these arguments. He says that the Hebrew Roots people are truthful in their wish to please God, and this makes it difficult to discuss these matters since it's not as if they do believe the New Testament and being saved by grace. So, Theo, let me help you with this. They appear, the Hebrew Roots people appear on the outside to want to only please God. But that's the sheep's clothing. On the inside of people that follow after this movement is boasting and pride, because it turns the grace of God, which is given to us without any merit whatsoever, it turns the grace of God into something that I have accomplished. It says that if I obey part of a law that God gave me, if I obey part of that law, then I am pleasing God in doing that. Let me give an example of this. If I tell Caleb, get in there and clean that room, that's my law. That's my commandment. If Caleb goes in and picks up 3 toys and puts the blanket over his pillow, he didn't clean the room. And when I walk in there and I look at it, I'm going, he didn't clean that room. But he wants to come out and wants my pleasure in the fact that he only did half or part of what I told him to do. This is the whole point of the Old Testament. It was all of these laws that God already knew that no man could perform, but he said strictly